everyone. I'm Cathrin Stickney. I'm the founder and CEO of Parity.org. I've been sitting here chatting with my good friend, John Mellor, who's the CEO of Domo. This is Parity.org's 5th anniversary. And to celebrate, we're speaking with several of our founding corporate partners, of which Domo is among them, who took the Parity Pledge early on. So, John, I'd like to get started and ask you a few questions about your journey to Parity since taking the Parity Pledge. And I think you'd agree, John, that it truly is a journey for companies. It's every company is different. They're all in a different place along this road to Parity. And with that, I'd like you to, I have a few questions. I'd like you to think back and tell me where your organization was 5 years ago in terms of gender diversity and leadership, particularly on the executive team and the board where the gap tends to be the widest. And if you could, contrast that with where you are today.
Well, Cathrin, it's wonderful to be with you. Thank you for inviting us and including us in this, and thank you for what you do. It really has been important to Domo because it's, Parity is something that's it's really important to us, and it is a way for us to, make sure we've got diversity of thought, diversity of background, diversity of opinion, so that we can better match, the customers that we're trying to serve with our products. And our journey has been, I think, pretty remarkable. And as you said, it is a journey, no question about it. This is not, I don't think we're ever done in this process, but a couple of data points that might be interesting. So just looking at our board, 5 years ago, we went from 0% diversity to today. And as you say, this is sometimes where the gaps are the largest, right? Yeah. We went from 0% diversity to 43% gender diversity today, and awesome. 50% of underrepresented diversity.
Fabulous, just amazing what's happened. And for a lot of companies, that's a fairly short period of time. So bravo.
Yes, well, thank you. It is a journey. And I think we've made some really good strides, and we're better for it. As a company, we're better for it.
Yeah. So when John, when you think about that journey, what stands out for you? What are you most proud of that happened along the way to Parity for you?
For us, taking the Parity Pledge, it kind of marked a programmatic turning point for the business, because I think people. You generally want to do the right thing, but you sometimes need a framework or some heuristics to use to think about, are you programmatically doing the right thing? So, as we look at our pipeline for how we're hiring, the Parity Pledge has given us kind of a marker to say we need diverse talent in the pipeline. And the thing that I love about the Parity Pledge is that it's not about quotas, it's more about process.
That's right.
And for us, if we can kind of capture that process of early in the funnel, making sure we've got enough of a pool of candidates that represent the diverse nature of our customer base, then that gives us a more diverse pool of candidates to make sure when we hire the very best person, we have looked at a broad mix of backgrounds.
Yeah, it's so important to keep that pipeline balanced with men, women, people of color, and really understanding that that's your pool to go to when you do need to bring somebody who's different or diverse candidates up into those seats when you need them and want them. Thinking about as the CEO of Domo, what one piece of advice would you give other CEOs that are just starting on this journey to Parity? What should they focus on? What advice, what have you learned over the years about this?
Yeah, well, I think you first be patient with yourself. This is a journey. And I would say where Parity Pledge has really helped us, and I think a general piece of advice is you need to be intentional about this. I think we all have our biases that are just built into us from very early in our lives. And sometimes we need a nudge or a reminder or a metric that we can look at to make sure that we're driving the kind of change that, rationally we know is the right change, but because of our biases, we might not be behaving in the way that we should. And so being intentional about not just your hires. The hires is at the very end of the process. It's the pipeline. It's the people that you're including in that interview pool that are really critical to kind of satisfying the criteria of a diverse workforce, but also hiring the best people. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to hire great people. And you really have to focus on hiring the best talent. But if you can ensure you've got a diverse pool that you're evaluating and is evaluating you, it gives you that opportunity to actually make the decision about the best talent from a diverse workplace. And I look at just the reports, my direct reports. We've gone from 28% diverse to 39% diverse.
Oh, congrats!
In the last couple of years, and that's just it's so helpful. As a CEO, you're always looking for, am I getting the broadest range of opinion? Am I capturing the thoughts and the perspectives of a cross-section of individuals that represent my customer base? Because that lets you be a better company. It lets you build better products, provide better service, and ultimately have a better value exchange with your customers.
Yeah, it's so important on the recruiting end to make sure that your executive or board recruiters have this on their on the requirements of what a slate of candidates needs to look like coming into your organization. Without that, you don't have a very diverse slate to choose from. So it's really important what you're doing, and the progress you've made is just phenomenal in such a short period of time. So John, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today, for taking the time to talk with us, and for being such a great partner and the support that you've given us. We really do appreciate it. So thank you, John.
Well, thank you, Cathrin. Really appreciate what you do, and it's just been very important to us at Domo. So thank you and your team.
Excellent. Thank you.